Hi guys, it's Jen Willowwind. So, first of all, I have to make sure I don't have any patient names showing or anything, but I know. Because I'm at work and I had this revelation right before it's 10 minutes before I leave. And I just wanted to do a quick video to talk about, I had decided, I don't know, just one of those whoo, aha moments, that I want to reclaim the pronouns that we have been given as pagans, as witches. So witch, pagan, Wiccan, whatever word that you use to describe yourself, spiritual warrior, whatever. I want to reclaim all of them and use them for good. Some of you know that my mother accepts my path for the most part. You know, it's funny, your family doesn't, if you're not of this path, they don't really understand it. But she tries, and she kind of is okay with it, and she, you know, even will take a look for stuff that will help me on my path, like stuff for altar boxes and stuff. She's always like, now is this good for an altar? I got you this thing at Goodwill. So I wonder where I got all my Goodwill obsession from. But we were talking the other day, we went out this weekend, and it has been a long time since we had a talk that did not involve yelling or bad feelings. I love my mother, but you know, we are not the best of friends. So I told her about my YouTube channel, which I kind of had mentioned before, but I didn't really talk about how important it was to me. And you know, if you have watched any of my videos, you know I was away for a year or so, and so I wasn't doing them for a while, and now I've been back for, I don't know, 2-3 months, something like that. And I said, you know, I have a vision of how I want things to go, and right now part of what I need to do is I do mammograms. That's where I am, which is not, you know, it's not a total veer off the road, but it's not in line with where I'm going either, completely. So eventually I'm kind of working towards getting there. So and part of what I would like to do is when I say I want to open a witchy shop, it's not just a witchy shop. To me, it's a spiritual, earth-based center. Because I want to teach, and I want to have healing classes, and I want to teach Reiki, and I want to teach crystal courses, and I want to be a life coach. And I've always been a good teacher, so it's just going along with this path. Well, another piece of that to me is community activism. And that does not just mean politically, but can kind of have a political wing off of that. I don't really want to get into the Republican, Democrat, liberal, whatever. Although obviously in our path kind of veers one way. And if you don't think so, that's fine. I'm not saying you cannot be a Republican witch. But it's, you know, with the environmental and loving the earth and stuff, to me, it veers off on one path. I'm not saying anything bad about the other path, though. But I said, you know, I would like to do community activism as a pagan community, as a witchy community. And she said, well, yeah, but you have to call it something else. And I was like, what do you mean you have to call it something else? She's like, well, that immediately has like a bad connotation of what witches are like, or what pagans are like. And I thought, okay, well, they're wrong. And that's partly, and I said, well, that's kind of the point, is to do that as a community, to teach people what we really are about. You know, this VR Tom Benjamin made up with the reverse tarot troll, reverse troll tag or reverse tarot, however he said it. It really has brought our community together. And it made me realize that we could change the world. And I think there's a lot more of us out there than we think that feel like this, that think this way, that earth-based religion, pagan, Wiccan, eclectic witch, Reiki healer, crystal healer, however you want to identify with, we are very much on similar paths. And I think that we have a lot to say. And I think that we could have a lot of power. And by power, I don't mean that as a, haha, let's take over the world, kind of. But I mean, we could have a huge impact on the earth. And we need to have a huge impact on the earth. And you know, we know how far it's veering in the wrong direction. And there are a lot of people who feel like we do. And so when my mother said that, it just clicked something in me that thought, you know, that's the point. I want people to be proud to be a witch, to be proud to be pagan, and not have to hide. Not that if you are in the broom closet, that is your personal space, and you need to get there however you get there. If you need to stay in the broom closet, please feel free to do so. I just, as someone who is, I love to answer questions. I am very much out of the broom closet now, although I waited. It's not like I was, whoo-hoo, this is who I am. I waited for quite a while. For one thing, I waited until my grandfather had passed over, because he was the spiritual center of my entire family. He used to take us to Catholic church every Sunday, no matter where we were, you know, on our journey of life, an hour away and whatever. He would come and take us to the Catholic church in that town. And I didn't want to hurt him. So I totally get being in the broom closet if that's where you need to be. On the other hand, those of us who are out and have to still answer questions about the stigmas of those words, of pagan, of witch, of Wicca, of shaman, I want to use that and take back some community doings on. I want to go out into our communities as a witch, as a pagan, as however you want to identify yourself, and take back that word as so that people go, you know what, those witches, they will come and do something for the environment. They will come and fight against inequality. I want that to mean something different than what the community as a whole has brought it to me. So this is my tag, which is, you would think I would come up with that beforehand, right? So it's going to be, let's say, hashtag take on community. And I want to hear your ideas for how we can take this back. What can we do? What can we do as a community? And if you have a community base, I was thinking the other day watching Two Spirits videos of the Pagan Fest that he had in Nottingham, how awesome it was that there is that kind of community where he lives. There isn't one here. But there are pagans here. I know there's pagans here. But it's like we're just not organized enough to do something together as a whole community. So give me some ideas. Let's do this together wherever we are. Try to start some things that we can take into our communities. You with me? Yay! Love you guys. Blessings. I want to hear them all.